Boom, check this out. Ideaology extended its staking promotion for a year. Now check this one out. Ideaology hooking it up with over a 24% estimated APR. Let's go take a look at price.
Hit the like button.
And subscribe.
Or else, let's go! We're going to end up stacking several things on top of each other, different layers, but we won't do it simultaneously. In the end, we're going to cover the EMAs. We're also going to cover origin line structural support, and we will cover a trading channel in which Ideaology has found itself for quite a while, and then the most obvious horizontal overhead resistance. Each time Ideaology finds support at an origin line, it typically has a nice pop thereafter. Here it found support, followed by 148% run. However, I don't know if I would expect that because that was during what you might call altcoin season. Rather, this trend definitely does remain. Find support at an origin line, find support at an origin line, and now it's finding support at an origin line. Current price is finding itself with a higher low structure. The lows are tagging this ascending line here. So these origin lines are ascending. It has a higher low overall structure to it, and it seems to be more statistically likely that a bump up from this area will happen as opposed to a breakdown below and out of this. Of course, I want to be very clear that this definitely absolutely depends on the price of Bitcoin. What I find interesting about Ideaology is that since the new year, I will pick a candle body around December 31st or January 1st. Candle body to low of Ideaology is roughly 43%. Bitcoin, doing the same type of methodology, candle body to low is 31%. Most altcoins, with very few exceptions, are bleeding versus Bitcoin, particularly during down movements. And it seems that not only is Ideaology on an increasing slope making higher lows, but its bleed versus Bitcoin is very minimal, specifically compared to other majority of mid-cap and small-cap altcoins out there. Those two things combined should provide a layer of confidence that the support the Ideaology price is finding is real and will hold up. Now let's take off these origin lines and we'll put on a trading channel that Ideaology finds itself in. On top of this, I will layer on an obvious horizontal resistance that both price will be attracted to get up to in any next pump that it might have, but also it's going to have a little bit of trouble getting over. And I'll show you the two most likely price paths that I could see in the event that the crypto market is able to turn around and Ideaology finds itself in an up move. On the path to get to this, Ideaology needs to break out of this descending trading channel. There are a couple ways that this could happen. It's possible that Ideaology simply pumps straight up and is attracted to this price zone, then lands on top of this trading channel and then tries to find support. In the event that that would happen, it would be able to essentially level up the origin line. So right now it's basing off this origin line, and that move would allow it to base off the next dotted origin line up. I'll take off the trading channel so you can see that. Resistance, find support, get closer to your target, and try again. This would allow it both to find an origin line as support, in addition to getting on top of its trading channel. These seem to align at the same point. Another way I can see Ideaology going about is that it uses this as resistance a couple more times, comes back down to the point of control, blast above the descending trading channel, and then test into this weekly and daily horizontal that is solidified in time on this chart. That's from a structural standpoint. Now, typically structural standpoints don't get the oomph it needs to accomplish such things unless the EMA story agrees with this. So let's check out the EMAs on large time frames like the daily and the weekly. We're going to start off with the daily RSI down here. Loose rule of thumb for Bitcoin is that Bitcoin isn't allowed to have a pump until it makes daily higher lows on the RSI. Low, 1 higher low, 2 higher low, 3 higher low, 4 higher low, 5 higher low. Ideaology price has permission to fly from a strict charting perspective on the daily time frame. If you take off price and look for any potential bullish cross that could jettison price up to the daily 200 EMA, which is often how price comes back to retest it when it is separated a long distance away from, so this orange line is the daily 200. What typically is needed is a daily bullish cross. So I'm going to throw on the daily 21. Now throw back on price. What price needs to do is stay on top of both of these EMAs, allow the daily red to get back above the yellow, and that could send Ideaology straight up to and wick above its daily 200. Typically when smaller cap altcoins race up, they overshoot their target. I would fully expect a wick in that move. And if we start putting other things back on our chart, as we remove these EMAs, you can see here that wick above aligns almost directly with that area of resistance. A wick above the daily 200 EMA. Origin lines that would send price from this origin line up to the next dotted one, the next dotted one. You have a lot of things both structurally and from an EMA standpoint and price behavior standpoint converging to a similar idea, pun intended. That was corny, sorry. And most of my viewers know that from a pump sustainability or price increase sustainability standpoint, I typically like to see 3 candles closing just above what is the weekly 10 EMA, which is this red line, before I consider a pump sustainable. In the recent past, Ideaology price and the price of any altcoin, this happens all the time in altcoins, if you see it simply fly above without fully respecting this line, either from the bottom, so bumping its head on it 3 times in a row, or from the top, sitting its butt on it 3 times in a row. If you don't see that happen, typically whatever pump you're seeing will come straight back down and overshoot the weekly 10 EMA at minimum to come back and say, okay, line, I respect you. And because this is a smaller cap altcoin, the way it'll probably get this done, instead of writing this with a lack of volatility, which is one healthy way to do it, the way small caps often conduct this is to scream a past and then come back and spend several weeks on top of it in a, well, it might seem like choppy price action on a smaller time frame, but from a weekly perspective, simply looks more like this. A weekly range of some sort. The way Ideaology, in the moment that it decides, hey, since I have permission to fly, I'm getting above the weekly 10, it will likely overshoot its original target and then come back and lose volatility, resting nice and neatly upon this weekly 10 EMA, something to that effect. I will make that red. And now if we throw on that overhead horizontal, does it align with that? Yes, it absolutely aligns. Therefore, after this target is hit in the future, what you're really looking for is for price to come back down and at least do 1, 2, 3 candle closures above it. And then from a weekly and pump sustainability standpoint, Ideaology would have charting permission to fly thereafter. And if you're a fan of Ideaology and you want to trade it, this is a highly, highly tradable range. I know that they often have trading challenges where they have giveaways for the people who have the most trading volume or have the best trading day within Ideaology. This is an extremely tradable range in the event that this happens. That is 100% range. So, and that is equivalent to Bitcoin's range between 60K or between 30K and 60K. A lot of money to be made in ranges. And if Ideaology were to do something like that, I could anticipate that this would be a very fun asset to look into. In drastically other news, go ahead and check this out. Ideaology launched its first initial DEX offering. There seemed to be a nice reaction off of it, particularly in the charts for Ideaology price. Intraday, that same day around February 7th, there was a 58% spike in price. The project surrounding that IDO is called the World of Cryptoids. I'm going to link you to this in the description section. It's described as a Pokemon-inspired metaverse world. Players can breed, own, and monetize their cryptoids, almost NFT style, using a variety of blockchain-based tokens. As of now, it's built on Ethereum, and they have plans to implement compatibility with Binance Smart Chain and Polkadot. Let's go take a quick sneak peek. The prologue started, so now I gotta click around. So what you saw there is the prologue or the tutorial section of it so you can learn how to play the game, and it introduces the lore and the background story during that tutorial phase of the game. Again, links to that in the description section below. The ticker for this token is CAC, available on PancakeSwap. I am on the website livecoinwatch.com. It looks like the price of this coin has done exceptionally well. I mean, up 400% the last 7 days. I mean, that's quite a performance for a time in crypto where not many assets are performing nearly this well. I am extremely impressed by this price action on this token. Right now, its market cap is sitting at about 89 million. The total supply of this coin, or max supply, will be 23.75 million, and the circulating supply is not listed on this webpage. I don't have the information on the current circulating supply. Get on PancakeSwap, Charlie Alpha Charlie is the ticker. From a strictly trading perspective, most folks on my channel know that typically it's healthier to get into any project or token when there is a healthier pullback during an up move, as opposed to chasing green candles. Make that decision for yourself. However, I thought I'd give you my thoughts on that from a strictly charting perspective. But in summary on that, the performance of CAC has been pretty exceptional. Given the conditions of the overall crypto market, I'm pretty impressed. With the price of CAC sitting at around 382 at the time I record this. Wrapping up here, it seems that the price of Ideaology could be finding support. You got staking on Kucoin extended for another year. And Ideaology has launched its first initial DEX offering, and it seems to, from a price perspective of CAC, to have received a very strong reception from the wider global audience. Making a few connections here, when you have an overall suppressed crypto market with smaller cap projects like this successfully conducting a very strong launch with a strong reception, it seems to make the 24% APR staking slightly more attractive in my personal opinion. You can make the decision for yourself. I hope you liked this video, and we'll see you next time.